My child, stop what you are doing and stay with me for a moment. Not because something has gone wrong, not because danger is approaching from a direction you cannot see. Stop because something happened today that you did not notice. And I do not want it to pass without you knowing it occurred. There was a moment today when heaven went quiet. Not the quiet of absence, the quiet of attention. The kind of stillness that falls over a room when everyone in it turns to look at the same thing at the same time. That is what happened in the unseen realm today. And the thing that everyone turned to look at was you. You went about your day believing it was ordinary. You believed that nothing of significance had taken place, that you had simply survived another stretch of hours that asked more of you than they gave back. But I was watching, and what I saw made me lean close. Because today, in a moment so small that even you did not register its weight, you proved something about your love for me that most people never get the chance to prove. You proved that it was real. I need you to be still while I tell you this, because truth received in motion slides off the surface of a person. Truth received in stillness enters the place where things actually change. So be still with me. There was a point today, a single hinge in the middle of all the ordinary motion, where you could have chosen comfort, and you chose conviction instead. It did not look dramatic. There was no audience. There was no applause waiting on the other side of the choice. There was only you, and the quiet pull toward the easier thing, and the deeper pull toward the truer thing. And you chose the truer thing. You will not even remember which moment I am describing, because to you, it was nothing. To me, it was everything. Because the choices a person makes when no one is watching are the only choices that reveal who they actually are. Everyone is faithful under the spotlight. You were faithful in the dark, and the dark is where I do my most careful looking. Let me tell you what I saw, because you have been carrying a belief about yourself that I need to correct tonight. You have believed that your faith is unremarkable. You have looked at the people around you who speak loudly about what they believe, who announce their devotion, who perform their obedience where it can be seen and admired, and you have quietly concluded that your own faith is somehow lesser because it does not make noise. My child, you have it exactly backwards. The faith that needs to be seen to sustain itself is the shallow kind, the faith that continues in complete privacy, with no witness but me, is the kind that moves eternity. You did not post your obedience for others to validate. It was enough that I saw it, and I did see it. I see all of it. The covenant fire in you does not flicker for an audience. It burns steady in the rooms where no one but me will ever know it was lit. My child, before I go further, I need you to feel the weight of how long this has been true. Because today was not the first day. Today was simply the day I decided to tell you. The pattern of your quiet faithfulness goes back further than you can trace. It goes back to the seasons you have already forgotten, the small refusals to compromise that cost you something and earned you nothing visible, the prayers you prayed into what felt like an empty ceiling, the kindness you extended to people who never thanked you and never will. Every one of those moments was recorded, not in the way human memory records where things fade and blur and eventually disappear, recorded in a place where nothing is ever lost. And tonight, I am opening that record, not to overwhelm you with the size of it, though it is larger than you would believe. I am opening it so that you can finally see yourself the way I have always seen you, type I was seen today because you were, before you had any evidence of it, before anything in your circumstances confirmed it. Before a single person acknowledged what you carried through this day, you were seen. Your body knew it even when your mind could not name it. There were moments today when you felt, just for a breath, a strange and unexplained steadiness in the middle of the pressure, a peace that did not match the difficulty of the hour. You may have dismissed it. You may have told yourself it was nothing, a passing mood, a coincidence of brain chemistry. It was not nothing. It was the felt edge of my attention resting on you. That sudden calm you could not explain was my acknowledgement reaching the part of you that was still awake enough to receive it. My child, let me name what your body has been carrying, because it has been speaking a language you have not fully translated. There have been mornings when you woke before the light, somewhere in the dark hours when the world was still, with your heart moving faster than the stillness around you could explain. You lay there and you did not know what had woken you. You only knew that something in you was awake and braced, and you told yourself it was stress. the ordinary anxiety of an ordinary life that asks too much. There is the tightness that lives in your shoulders and does not fully release, even when you sleep. The weight that is already sitting on your chest before you have opened your eyes, the particular exhaustion that rest does not seem to touch, because the part of you that is tired is deeper than your body. My child, those are not malfunctions. They are the physical record of a spirit that has been carrying something heavy for a long time without being allowed to set it down. Your body has been keeping its own scroll, faithfully, and tonight I am telling it that it can rest now, because the one who is strong enough to carry the weight has taken it from you. My child, I want to speak to what this day actually cost you, because you have been minimizing it, and I will not let you minimize it in my presence. The world saw your calm today. The people around you saw someone who appeared to be managing, holding together, getting through. They did not see the war underneath the surface. They did not see the weight you carried into the day before you had even fully opened your eyes, the heaviness that was sitting on your chest in the first conscious moment of the morning. They did not see how many times you wanted to put it all down, and how many times you picked it back up instead. The smile you offered to the people who needed you was real, but it was costly, and the cost was invisible to everyone except me. You have been carrying the kingdom in silence, and carrying something in silence is the heaviest way to carry it, because you do it without the relief of being understood. In the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 37, the greatest commandment is given. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind, my child. You did exactly that today, not in the easy way, where love is a feeling that arrives on its own when conditions are pleasant. You loved me in the hard way. You loved me when the answer to your prayer still had not come. You loved me when the weight felt heavier than your strength. You loved me when the silence had stretched so long that you had every reason to wonder whether anyone was listening on the other end of it. That is the love that separates the chosen from the crowd. Your love for me is not based on what I give you. It is based on who I am. And a love like that is the rarest thing in all of creation. The angels do not marvel at miracles the way they marvel at a heart that keeps loving me when it has been given no reason to. I was not asking today whether you could handle blessing. I already know you can. I was asking a different question. The question I ask of every soul I am preparing for something larger than their present circumstances. The question was, will you still love me when no one sees you? And your soul answered before your mind could form the words. Your soul answered yes. It answered yes in the moment you chose the harder right over the easier wrong. It answered yes in the prayer you whispered for someone who had hurt you. It answered yes in the way you refused one more time to let bitterness take root in the soil of your heart. Heaven heard every yes, and heaven went still to listen. Type, my love is covenant, not emotion. Now I am going to read the record to you, my child, because you deserve to know what has been written. You have been living as though your hidden acts disappeared into the air the moment they were finished. They did not. The book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 16, describes what actually happens. Then those who feared the Lord talked with each other, and the Lord listened and heard. A scroll of remembrance was written in his presence, concerning those who feared the Lord and honored his name. There is a scroll, my child. It is real. It is not a metaphor I am offering you for comfort. It is the actual mechanism by which I preserve what the world discards. And your name is written across it more times than you could count, because every single time you chose to honor me when it would have been easier to forget me. Another line was added beside your name. Let me read you some of what is recorded there. There is the text you sent to encourage someone, the one you almost did not send because you were too tired and too depleted to imagine you had anything left to give. You sent it anyway. It is recorded. There is the prayer you whispered for a person who will never know you prayed it, the intercession you offered for someone whose burden you carried in private because you could not stand to see them suffer alone. It is recorded. There is the moment you chose patience when anger would have been entirely justified, the moment you gave when no one thanked you, the moment you stayed when everyone else had already walked away, all of it recorded. Nothing lost. The world called those moments insignificant. The world did not even see most of them. I call them sacred. I saw everyone, and there is more, my child, because the record does not only hold the things you did. It holds the things you refuse to do, and those refusals are recorded with the same care. There is the cruel word you swallowed instead of speaking, the moment you had every right to retaliate and chose silence instead. The cutting reply that formed fully in your mind and that you let dissolve unspoken because you decided, in a fraction of a second that no one observed, that you would not become what had been done to you. The world does not record the things a person chooses not to do. The world cannot even see them. I see them, and I record them, because the restraint of a person who could have struck back and did not is one of the purest expressions of the love I am describing. Every time you chose not to repay harm with harm, another line was written. Every time you forgave in the quiet of your own heart someone who never apologized and never will, the scroll grew. You have been writing a record of mercy that you did not even know you were authoring. My child, hidden acts of faith are not small in my sight. They are seeds of eternity, scattered in secret, but destined to bloom in a glory you cannot yet imagine. You think no one notices when you choose righteousness over recognition. I notice. I record every moment when you do the right thing in a room where doing the wrong thing would have cost you nothing. What the world calls invisible, I call the truest portrait of who you are. Because a person is not who they are when they are being watched. A person is who they are when they believe no one is looking. And in those moments, the moments you assumed were unwitnessed, you have been showing me again and again a heart that loves me for reasons that have nothing to do with reward. Type heaven kept the record. Say it as a declaration, not a hope. Because the record is not something I might keep if you prove yourself further. It is already kept. It was being written while you were living it. In real time, with my full attention on every line, the applause of people fades before the sound of it has even finished. The clapping stops. The room empties. And what was celebrated is forgotten by morning. But what is written in my presence endures forever. And while the rest of the world has been chasing visibility, exhausting themselves to be seen by people who will not remember them, you have been quietly choosing intimacy with me instead. That is why I trust you with more. The ones who need to be seen by everyone cannot be trusted with much, because their faithfulness depends on the audience. Yours depends on me, and I am never going to look away. My child, I need to address the season you have been walking through, because I know what it has felt like from the inside, and I know what you have been telling yourself about it. It has felt like silence. It has felt like your prayers were rising and hitting a ceiling and falling back down unanswered. It has felt, on the hardest nights, as though I had grown distant, as though the warmth you used to feel had cooled into something you could no longer locate. You have wondered whether you did something to cause the distance. You have examined yourself for the flaw that might explain it, my child. Hear me clearly. I was not ignoring you in that season. I was establishing you. The silence was not absence. It was construction. And construction is always done behind a covering, because what is being built is not ready to be seen until it is finished. The book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 9, speaks directly to where you have been. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. You have been in the season between the sowing and the harvest, the hidden stretch of time where the seed is in the ground and nothing is visible above the surface. It is the season where most people give up because they cannot see results, and they conclude that nothing is happening. But everything was happening. Underground, in the dark, where you could not watch it, the roots were going deeper than they ever could have gone in easier soil. Every time you chose faithfulness without seeing a reason to, you were watering ground that looked empty. You were not wasting those years. You were not falling behind. You were being rooted at a depth that will make everything that grows from you unshakable. Type my hidden faith is not wasted, because it was not. Not one moment of it. I do not waste loyalty, my child. I transform it. The endurance you spent in that silent season, the faith you kept when faith was producing nothing you could point to, all of it is being converted right now into something with weight and permanence. The people who only ever obeyed me when obedience was rewarded immediately do not have what you have. They have never been tested in the hidden place, so their roots are shallow, and shallow roots cannot hold what I am preparing to grow. Yours can. You were tested in the dark, and you held, and because you held when there was no visible reason to hold, You can now be trusted with a harvest that would have crushed someone whose foundation had not been built the way yours was built. My child, I want to tell you the truth about the fire because you have misunderstood what it was. The hardship you walked through, the rejection, the long stretches of feeling unseen and uncertain, you experienced all of it as though it were my anger or my absence or evidence that I had turned away. It was none of those things. The book of 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 7 explains what was actually happening. These trials will show that your faith is genuine. It is being tested as fire tests and purifies gold, though your faith is far more precious than mere gold. The fire was not sent to destroy you. Fire does not destroy gold. Fire reveals it. Everything that burned away in the heat of that season was something that was never truly you. The masks, the performances, the borrowed identities, the need for approval from people who were never going to give it. What remained when the fire finished its work was the real you, unshaken, unpretending, pure. That is why some people left during that season, my child. I know their leaving wounded you. I know you wondered what was wrong with you that made them go. Nothing was wrong with you. The fire simply revealed what was temporary. The people who could not remain through your refining were people whose connection to you was built on the version of you that the fire was burning away. When that version was gone, they had nothing left to hold on to, so they drifted. It was not rejection. It was clarification. The fire told you the truth about who could go forward with you and who could not. And that truth was a mercy. Even though it arrived wearing the face of loss, you thought you were being abandoned. You were being freed. The fire did not win because it did not. Look at yourself. You are still here. You walked through the heat, and it did not consume you. The very thing that was meant to end you has become the clearest evidence of your endurance. You have scars, yes, but your scars shine like proof of a victory, not like marks of a defeat. The furnace was my classroom, and in it you learned the thing that cannot be taught any other way. You learned to trust me when there was nothing left in your hands to hold. You learned that faith is not the absence of fear, but the decision to keep walking through it. You learned that love for me becomes most beautiful precisely when it costs you something. And through every moment of it, your heart kept whispering a sentence that reached me every time you said it. Even here, I still believe that whisper was never ignored, my child. Not once. While you stood trembling and certain you were alone, I had surrounded you like a shield, and the strength that kept you upright when you should have collapsed was not your own. It was mine, holding your spine straight from the inside. My child, there is someone in your life right now who is in the middle of exactly the season I have just described to you. They are in the silence. They are in the fire. They are doing the right thing in rooms where no one sees it, and they are concluding, the way you once concluded, that their faithfulness is invisible and unwitnessed, and therefore worthless. They are wrong, the same way you were wrong, and they need to hear what you are hearing tonight. If you would carry a moment of faith on their behalf, I want to invite you to sow a seed in their name, not for yourself, for them, as an act of belief that the hidden season they are walking through is being recorded the same way yours was recorded. Visit the link in the description below, or scan the QR code on screen. What you sow in faith for another person in their darkest stretch, I gather up and multiply, and I return it carrying both of your names into what comes next. Nothing given in love is ever forgotten. Not a prayer, not a word, not a seed planted on behalf of someone who does not yet know how seen they are. Now stay with me, my child, because I am about to tell you why the hidden season is ending. The book of Matthew chapter 6 verse 4 holds the promise that governs everything I am about to say. Then your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. Read the order of that carefully. First, the secret, then the reward. The secret is not the obstacle to the reward. The secret is the qualification for it. Everything you did where no one could see is the precise reason you are about to receive something visible. I have been keeping the record in private so that I could display it in public at the proper time. And the proper time, my child, is no longer a distant horizon. It is the edge you are standing on right now. Let me prepare you for how the revealing will come, because I do not want you to miss it when it arrives. It will not announce itself with thunder. My revealings rarely do. It will come the way dawn comes, Slowly at first, a lightening at the edges that you almost do not trust, and then suddenly the whole sky. You will begin to notice doors opening that you did not knock on. You will find yourself receiving recognition you did not campaign for, favor you cannot explain. The quiet arrival of things you stopped expecting because the waiting had gone on so long. When those things begin to come, my child, do not dismiss them as luck or coincidence. They are the harvest. They are the public reward for the private faithfulness. They are the scroll of remembrance being read aloud in the realm where your life actually unfolds. Type, I receive my crown, because there is a crown, my child, and it is not a metaphor either. It is forged in secret, the way all my truest honors are. Every act of humility you offered added a jewel to it. Every decision to forgive when retaliation would have felt better strengthened its frame. Every quiet surrender that no one witnessed became a thread woven through it. You have been wearing this crown for longer than you realized, though it is invisible to human eyes. It gleams in the only realm where gleaming finally matters, and the crown fits you precisely because you never chased it. Crowns forged in silence can only be worn by hearts that remember where they came from, and you have never forgotten. You walked through enough wilderness to know that without my presence, no glory lasts. That is exactly why I can trust you with glory now, my child. I want to speak to what you are becoming because the person who is emerging from this season is not the same person who entered it. You came into the fire as someone who needed to be understood, who ached for the people around you to see your effort and acknowledge your faithfulness. You are coming out of the fire as someone who has learned that my acknowledgement is enough. That is not a small change. That is the change that makes everything else possible. Because a person who needs human validation to keep going can always be stopped. Simply by withholding the validation, a person who has learned to be sustained by me directly cannot be stopped at all. You have become unstoppable, my child. Not because you became hard, but because you stopped, depending on the one thing that the world could always take away from you. There is a new authority forming in you, and you can feel it even if you cannot name it. It is quiet. It does not need to announce itself or demand to be recognized. It simply is. When you walk into a room now, something in the atmosphere shifts, and the people in the room feel it before you have said a word. They cannot explain why they feel calmer in your presence, why your steadiness unsettles them in a way they did not expect, why something about you reminds them of something they had forgotten. It is because you are carrying me into the room with you. You have become, without trying to become it, a place where my presence is visible. That is the fruit of the hidden season. The privacy was building a vessel that could carry my glory without breaking under the weight of it. Type, I am being rebuilt. Because you are, my child. I am rebuilding you from the ashes of everything that burned, shaping your heart into something that can hold what is coming without cracking. The rebuilding does not always feel like rebuilding while it is happening. It often feels like loss, like confusion, like being taken apart. But I do not take a thing apart unless I intend to put it back together better than it was. You are not being diminished. You are being defined. Every hardship you walked through carved another line of truth into you, and the message that is now written across your whole life has become legible to anyone who looks closely. Your scars have become a language. Through your endurance, people can read something about me that no sermon could teach them. You have become a living letter, and the thing written on you is hope. My child, I need to prepare you for something, because the enemy of your becoming does not surrender quietly, and I want you armed before the attack comes rather than ambushed by it. In the days after a night like this one, after you have received a word this clear and this true, a voice will arrive to try to take it back from you. It will not come as obvious opposition. It will come as reasonable doubt. It will wait until the emotion of this moment has faded, until you are back in the ordinary gray light of an ordinary day, and then it will begin to suggest gently and persuasively that what you received tonight was just emotion, that you imagined the part about heaven noticing, that the feeling of being seen was a passing mood and not a true encounter, that the scroll and the crown and the recorded faithfulness were beautiful ideas that do not survive contact with your actual life. Do not believe it, my child. Here is how you will know that voice is not mine. My voice never uses the fading of a feeling as evidence that the truth has faded. Feelings are weather. Truth is the ground underneath the weather, and it does not move when the sky changes. The voice that arrives to tell you this was all just emotion is the same voice that has always tried to convince you that your hidden faithfulness was worthless. It failed to stop you from being faithful, so now it will try to stop you from believing the faithfulness was seen. It is the same lie wearing a different coat. When it comes, and it will come, you answer it with what you know rather than what you feel. You know the record is kept. You know you were seen. You know the silence was construction, and the fire was refinement, and the hidden season was preparation. The feeling may come and go. The knowing stays. Type I let go of needing them to see me, because that is the freedom I am giving you tonight. My child, for so long you have carried a quiet ache to be recognized by the people around you, to have your effort acknowledged, your faithfulness noticed, your sacrifices understood. I am not condemning that ache. It is human, and it is honest. But I am releasing you from it, because it has been a weight you were never meant to carry this far. You do not need them to see you. You have been seen by the one whose seeing is the only seeing that lasts. The validation you have been reaching toward from people who keep forgetting to give it. I have already given you in full, permanently, in a place where it can never be withdrawn. Let down the need, set it on the ground. You are free of it now. The eyes that have been on you the whole time were never going to be the eyes of the crowd. They were always going to be mine. My child, I want to tell you about the woman or the man whose face came into your mind a moment ago while I was speaking. Someone arrived in your thoughts, and it was not random. It was not your mind wandering. I brought them to your attention because they are living right now under the exact weight you are being released from tonight. They are doing the unseen work and concluding that it does not count. They are carrying the kingdom in a silence that no one around them understands. They are in the fire, telling themselves it is punishment, when it is refinement. They need this word, and you are the one I have chosen to carry it to them. Send this message to them tonight. You do not need to explain it. You do not need to write a paragraph justifying why you are sending it. Simply place it in front of them, and let me do the rest. Because there is someone whose name is on your heart right now who needs to know that I have seen every hidden thing they have done, and you are the bridge I am using to tell them. Now, my child, because you stayed, because you are still here, at this point in what I am speaking, when the easier thing would have been to let this play in the background while your attention drifted, or to close it entirely and return to the noise. You did not drift. You did not close it. You stayed, and you received, and you let it land in the places it needed to land. I want to give you something specifically for the staying, because staying is itself an act of the very faithfulness I have been describing. The world is engineered to pull your attention into 1,000 pieces, and you held it here, on me, on this, for this long. That is not a small thing. That is the same covenant fire showing up in real time, in this exact moment, in your refusal to let yourself be scattered. The book of Hosea, chapter 6, verse 6, tells you what I have always wanted from you, for I desire steadfast love and not sacrifice, the knowledge of God rather than burnt offerings. My child, I was never after your performance. I was after your heart. I did not need you to be perfect. I desired your presence. I did not want a ritual you completed out of obligation. I wanted a relationship, the kind where you keep showing up not because you have to, but because something in you cannot stay away from me. And tonight, by staying, you showed me again that this is the kind of love you carry. You know me. That is why you love me. Not because of what I have handed you, much of which has not yet arrived, but because of who I have shown myself to be across every season you have walked through with me. My child, the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3, verse 17, describes what I am doing in this very moment, though you may find it almost too much to receive. The Lord your God is with you, the mighty warrior who saves. He will take great delight in you. In his love he will no longer rebuke you, but will rejoice over you with singing. Do you understand what that means? The God who spoke the stars into existence is, right now, singing over you. Not speaking, singing, composing melody out of your endurance. Every moment you assumed was silence was actually a song, And the song was about you, and the refrain was a single word repeated: faithful, faithful, faithful. You could not hear it because it was being sung in a register your ears are not yet tuned to, but it has been playing the entire time. And one day, when the final veil lifts, you will hear it in full, and you will understand that you were never once walking through that wilderness alone. I was beside you the whole way singing, my child. The season ahead of you will not be without trials. I will not lie to you and promise you a life free of difficulty, because that is not the life I promised anyone, and it is not the life that produces what I am producing in you. But here is what will be different. The trials that are coming will never again be without purpose, and they will never again be able to convince you that you are alone in them. You have learned to interpret storms as invitations. You have learned to read delays as direction. You have learned to receive silence not as abandonment, but as intimacy. What used to frighten you now barely moves you because you have walked through enough of it to know that the same hand that allows the waves also commands them. The sea you used to fear is becoming the surface you walk on. I want to speak to the specific shape of what is being restored to you, my child, because you deserve to know not only that restoration is coming, but what it will feel like when it arrives. The first thing that returns is your voice. The voice you learned to make small, the voice you edited in certain company, the ideas you pulled back before they fully formed, because you were not sure they would be welcomed. That voice is returning, and it is returning fuller than it was before, because what was held back has been gathering, and when it releases, it will not release at the old level. It will release carrying everything it was meant to have said in all the seasons of the holding. The second thing that returns is your reach. You have been reaching from a crouched position, half expecting to be told you wanted too much. The crouch is straightening. You will find yourself reaching with your full extension, and things you reach for will begin to arrive because they were never blocked by your lack. They were only ever delayed by a ceiling that has now been lifted off of you. Type what was secret will be seen, because it will, my child. That is the promise that holds all the other promises inside it. What you did in secret will be honored in the open. What you built in the hidden place will be displayed in the light. The faithfulness that no one witnessed will become the testimony that everyone reads. I do not keep records in order to file them away forever. I keep them in order to read them aloud at the moment when reading them aloud will accomplish the most. And that moment is approaching for you. The people who misunderstood you will see the truth. The seasons that felt wasted will reveal exactly what they were producing. The crown that was forged in silence will catch the light, and in that moment you will understand that nothing was lost. Every tear was counted. The book of Psalms, chapter 56, verse 8, says that you have kept count of my tossings. You have put my tears in your bottle. Are they not in your book? They are, my child, everyone stored, recorded, nothing wasted. My child, I want you to rest tonight in a way you have not rested in a long time. The weight you have been carrying, the heaviness that has sat on your chest in the first waking moment of so many mornings, I am asking you to set it down. Not because the things that produced it were not real. They were real, and they cost you what they cost you. And I saw the full price. But you are no longer required to carry it. I have taken it onto myself, and I do not set down what I carry. So when you close your eyes tonight, I want you to feel the absence of that familiar weight. I want you to notice that your shoulders are not braced the way they have been braced for so long. The army of heaven stands guard around the room where you sleep. You are protected by an authority that nothing in the seen or unseen realm can overrule. And in the morning you will wake lighter than you have woken in years, because something shifted tonight, and the shift is permanent. Now I want to speak to you, the one who has carried this all the way to the end, directly and personally, as this message comes to its close. Everything I have told you tonight was kept in a record that has been waiting for the moment you were ready to hear it read. You are ready now. You proved it by the way you have lived, and you proved it again by the way you stayed. If something in you wants to mark this moment, to make a return to me for what was given to you tonight, I want to invite you one more time to sow a seed, and this time bring a name with you. The person who came into your heart while you were listening, the one living right now under the weight you have been freed from. Bring them into this act of faith with you. What was done for them in the dark deserves to be answered by what you do in the light. Visit the link in the description below, or scan the QR code on screen. Every seed sown in faith is recorded in the same place where your own faithfulness has been recorded, and nothing planted there is ever forgotten. They deserve to be free of what they are carrying. And so, my child, do you. The book of Hebrews, chapter 6, verse 10, makes you a promise that I will keep without exception. God is not unjust. He will not forget your work and the love you have shown him as you have helped his people and continue to help them. I have not forgotten, my child. I will not forget. Every hidden act, every silent prayer, every unwitnessed kindness, every choice to love me when there was no reward in sight, all of it is held in a place where forgetting is not possible. The world forgets. People forget. You yourself have forgotten half of what you have done. I have forgotten none of it. And in the season that is opening in front of you, you will begin to see the harvest of things you planted so long ago that you no longer remember planting them. So go now, my child. Go into the days ahead carrying what you now know. You are seen. You have always been seen. The faithfulness you offered in private was never private to me. The fire that tried to end you became the light that now guides you. The silence you mistook for absence was the sound of me building something in you that could not have been built any other way. The crown you cannot see is real, and it fits you. And you earned it not through perfection, but through staying, through loving, through refusing to let the dark have the final word. Heaven went quiet today to watch you, and what it saw made me proud in a way that words in your language cannot fully hold. You loved me when no one was looking, and I will love you, openly and without end. For all the days that are coming and all the days beyond them, you are my child. Not in the general sense, but in the particular, intimate, specific sense. You exactly as you are tonight, with all your tiredness and all your scars and all your quiet covenant fire. I chose you before you had done anything to earn the choosing, and I would choose you again tonight, knowing everything, having watched every moment. Rest now, you have done what you were sent to do. You have loved beyond measure, endured beyond your strength, and believed beyond every reason you were given to stop. The record is complete, and the record says what I have always known. You are exactly who I said you were. Faithful, mine, seen, in Jesus' name. Amen.